Okay, so off the top, we mentioned that former President Trump is expected to make that announcement. He's running in 2024. Well, former Vice President Mike Pence is also considering a 2024 presidential run. He sat down with ABC's David Muir last night, and his memoir, So Help Me God, hits bookshelves today. The former Vice President joins us live here on Denver 7. Mr. Vice President, thanks so much for your time. We will get to that book in a moment, but first, former President Trump expected to announce later today he's running in 2024. Simply, do you think Donald Trump is fit to run for president?
Well, it's a free country, Jason, and the president can make whatever announcement that he wants to make. But as I've traveled across this country, I think the American people long for leadership that does bring us back to the policies of the Trump-Pence administration, policies that made our country more prosperous than any time in my lifetime, strengthened our military, secured our borders, saw conservatives appointed to our courts, and stood tall in the world, making history in the Middle East and standing up to the enemies of freedom. But I must tell you that I've also heard over the last nearly 2 years, so many Americans come up, express their appreciation for our leadership, our record, but also their desire to see us produce leadership in our party that will unite our country around our highest ideals and reflect the kind of civility and decency that the American people treat each other with every day.
Now, you said in your interview with ABC's David Muir, you believe the American people will have, quote, better options come 2024. Are you running in 2024?
Well, Jason, I promise to keep you posted. You know, we've got two of our immediate family that are in the U.S. military, and in between deployments, we haven't been together as a family for 3 years. So Karen and I are making plans to have all the kids and our granddaughter back in Indiana over the holidays. We'll spend time, as you read in So Help Me God, literally every step of the way of our career. Our children have been intimately involved in everything that we've done. We'll spend time to give prayerful consideration to that, and then Karen and I will make a decision sometime after the first of the year. But we've made it clear we won't let anybody else make that decision for us. If we feel called to step back into the political debate, we'll do it without hesitation because we love this country, and I believe the best days of America lie ahead.
Now, your book is out today. It can't be lost on you the timing of this Mar-a-Lago Trump announcement on the exact same day.
Well, I've been working on this book for 2 years, and I couldn't be more grateful to have the opportunity to bring it to the American people. So Help Me God is really, as much about my family, as much about my upbringing in Indiana, my service in Congress and my service as governor, as it is about the Trump-Pence years, including the challenging days at the end. I hope people will have a better sense of who we are, how I came to my faith in Christ, how I came to the conservative movement after starting in politics as a young Democrat in my hometown, how I met the girl of my dreams, and how we were able to serve this country in so many different capacities. It really is it's not so much a unique story, but it is uniquely American. You know, as the grandson of an Irish immigrant, to have been able to stand on that platform in January 2017, raise my right hand to become the 48th Vice President of the United States, should tell you everything you need to know about America. And in So Help Me God, I really try and capture the wonder of that journey, even through the challenging days. I'm inspired to be an American, Jason.
And one of those most challenging days that you write about in that book is January 6th. You've come out and said since the president's tweeting that day was reckless, it put you and your family in danger. Whether it's in this interview or others, why have you not come out in stronger terms against the person that did that to you and your family?
Well, I think I was quite clear, Jason. When the tweet came across saying that I lacked courage while rioters were ransacking the Capitol was reckless. It endangered my family and the people that were at the Capitol at the time. But to be honest with you, in that moment, Jason, I really didn't have any time for it. The president had decided to be a part of the problem. I was determined to be a part of the solution. And working with Democrats and Republicans in leadership in the Congress, working with law enforcement on the ground, we went to work And it's remarkable to me that in a matter of a few short hours, law enforcement, Capitol and federal law enforcement, quelled the violence. We were able to reconvene the Congress the very same day. And what began as a day of tragedy ended as a triumph of freedom as we saw to the peaceful transfer of power.
Then do you believe the person behind those tweets, the person that, in your own words, became part of the problem, is he, on the day that he's expected to make this big announcement, is he really just in the best interest of the Republican Party or the American people?
Well, Jason, I think that'll be up to the American people, and particularly to Republican primary voters, to determine what role, if any, the president has in the future of our party and our nation. And I trust Republican primary voters. Look, as I said, I don't think anybody other than Donald Trump could have defeated Hillary Clinton in 2016, but I do believe we'll have better choices in the days ahead, people that are better fitted to the times, able to advance the policies that we proved make America stronger and more prosperous, but to do it in a way that reflects the goodness and civility and neighborliness that Americans show to one another every day.
The midterm elections did not see the red wave that was predicted. A majority of the Trump-endorsed candidates lost. A Republican, Lauren Boebert, here in Colorado, holding just a razor-thin margin in a district that is largely conservative. Do you think it's time for the Republican Party to move on from the policies and the rhetoric of Donald J. Trump?
You know, elections are always about the future. And I believe, as disappointing as these elections were in many places, that our candidates that focused on the future did quite well. That's why we won a Republican majority in the House of Representatives, and there'll be a new Republican Speaker of the House come January. And I think as we go forward, it'll be important that we get behind candidates that are not interested in relitigating the past, but are focused on the challenges that are facing people in Colorado today and Indiana today, and are really focused on a future built on freedom. And I look forward to being part of that debate in some way, shape, or form. And I promise to keep you posted on our plans, Jason.
All right, former Vice President Mike Pence, keep us posted. Thanks so much for the time. The book, So Help Me God, is available for purchase right now.